2026 will separate the disciplined from the distracted, not because the distracted are weak, but because they still operate on autopilot, talking when they should be silent, explaining when they should be executing, performing when they should be building. You walk into this year with the same noise, the same distractions, the same need to be validated, you'll end up exactly where the masses always end up. Exhausted, unfocused, secretly resentful. But if you stay until the end, you'll discover 10 iron habits the disciplined 1% use to protect their minds, guard their silence, and move forward while everyone else spectates. This isn't for everyone. This is for the few ready to stop performing for the world and start forging themselves in silence. The ancient Stoics lived in chaos, politics, uncertainty. Marcus Aurelius carried an empire. Epictetus survived slavery. Yet they returned to the same truth. You cannot control the world, but you control your mind, your attitude, your actions. Stoicism isn't pretending you don't feel. It's refusing to be ruled by what you feel. In an age where everyone wants to talk, react, appear, real power belongs to those who lower external noise and strengthen internal discipline. That's what 2026 becomes if you choose to operate differently. Habit 1. Guard your process. Talking too much has already cost you more than you'll admit. Respect, peace, focus. How many times have you shared a plan with excitement and received awkward silence, sarcasm, fake smiles? In that moment, you shrank inside thinking, I shouldn't have said anything. You were right. Not everyone wants you to grow. Some just want to measure you, compare themselves, talk about you when you're gone. Marcus Aurelius didn't write to show the world his wisdom. He wrote to avoid losing himself. Your mind and your process aren't a public square. They're restricted territory. In 2026, talk less about what you're doing, planning, changing. Work in silence and let results make the noise your mouth no longer needs to make. Habit 2. Radical self-focus. Hard truth. No one thinks about you as much as you imagine. Everyone's fighting their own fears, problems, frustrations. Yet you wake up, open your phone, and within minutes feel behind because you compared your backstage to someone else's highlight reel. It's not that your life is terrible, it's that you're looking at the wrong life at the wrong time. Marcus Aurelius didn't wake asking, what are they doing? But what do I have to do today to act according to my principles? The person who stays busy with their own growth moves forward. The one who stays busy watching others just watches. Habit 3. Endure solitude. There comes a moment when the noise fades. Fewer messages, fewer invitations, fewer people calling your name. It hurts because before you were always in the middle, always available, always needed. Now the silent phone feels like a verdict. But often you're not alone because you failed. You're alone because you stepped out of the role others expected from you. The Stoic uses solitude as a laboratory. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but the decisive battles happened inside his head when he wrote, reflected, adjusted. Those who need company constantly grow weaker. Those who can stand being alone gain clarity and independence. If you go through this season of solitude in 2026 without running back to random company just to avoid yourself, you'll emerge more solid, more selective, much harder to manipulate. Before we continue, this is where most people quit. If you're still here, you're different. Subscribe to this channel. Not for motivation, but for mental tools you can actually use. In a world of noise, we offer direction. In a world of distraction, we build discipline. Hit that subscribe button now. Let's continue. Habit 4. Emotional sovereignty. Often it wasn't the world that knocked you down. It was your reaction. That argument that stole your sleep, that angry message, that post you regret today. None of that was clarity. It was impulse. Emotions don't analyze, they explode. It's not the event itself that destroys you, it's the way you choose to respond to it. Life will poke your insecurities, people will test your limits. In 2026, your challenge is not handing that control over so easily. Don't answer at anger's peak. Don't make big decisions under emotional attack. Breathe, step back, observe, then decide. Emotional silence isn't weakness, it's advanced strategy. Habit 5, discipline without audience. What you do when nobody sees you builds or destroys the person you'll be in a few years. Most people don't fail because they lack opportunities, but because they lack consistency. They start with energy, make big promises, tell everyone their goals. When tiredness comes and motivation fades and there's no audience, they quit quietly. A Stoic doesn't wait for the right mood. He's guided by what's right. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do what needs to be done." In 2026, instead of chasing new waves of motivation, build small daily habits. The one who's intense for a week lies to himself. The one who's consistent for months transforms. Habit 6, stop justifying yourself. You've spent more energy trying to justify yourself than actually correcting what needed correction. Every time you set a boundary, stepped away from what was hurting you, then felt the urge to explain, you gave up ground. A Stoic knows his life isn't a committee. When you explain too much, you invite others to judge, interfere, cross lines. Decide. Communicate what's necessary. Stand firm. Not everyone deserves context. Not everyone deserves details. Not everyone deserves an answer. In many cases, no and silence are enough. Habit 7. Align action with intention. A plan without action is just fantasy. A Stoic doesn't fall in love with ideas in his head. He measures himself by what he does with them. You can fill notebooks with goals, watch videos about discipline. But if your routine doesn't change, your life doesn't change. The real question isn't what do you want, but what are you willing to do every single day for that? Instead of repeating one day, it'll get better, start adjusting small things. The time you sleep, what you consume, who you spend time with. Peace doesn't come only from believing something, it comes from acting in line with what you say you believe. Habit 8. Say no without guilt. Every forced yes is a small betrayal of yourself. You're exhausted not only because of what you do, but because of everything you agree to against your own will. You taught people to have you always available. Time and energy are finite, precious resources. Saying I can't, I don't want to, not now, doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you an honest one. Whoever gets offended by your limit was never worried about your well-being, only your availability. Habit 9. Pain as fuel. Pain is inevitable: rejection, loss, disappointment, failure. Everyone goes through it. Not everyone does the same thing with IT. Some turn their story into a prison, others use what happened as a turning point. A Stoic doesn't stay stuck at why did this happen to me? He moves toward what will I do with this now? Adversity is both a test and an opportunity to strengthen character. In 2026, acknowledge your pain, learn from it, create new boundaries, move forward. Habit 10. Become unrecognizable. True transformation doesn't ask for attention, it demands it. Real change is daily construction starting in quiet decisions. Not replying, not insisting, not going back, not explaining, not distracting. One day you notice you no longer react like before. You no longer chase those who don't want you around. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It's a waste of time to argue about what a good person should be. The point is to be one." That's what makes you unrecognizable to those who only knew your older version. Some will find your silence strange, others will call your focus coldness. That's fine. In 2026, less noise, less automatic reaction, less need for approval. More focus, more silence, more truth. If you made it here, you're already in a small group. People who don't run from reflection don't quit halfway. Subscribe to Silent Forge. Turn on notifications because with every video, you reinforce the habit of protecting your inner peace and forging unbreakable character. And if you're truly committed to making 2026 different, write in the comments, "I forge myself in silence." Let that sentence remind you daily that from today on, you choose to protect your focus, honor your silence, and become someone your old self would barely recognize.